My name is Robert Spencer Burger, go by Spence, and I'm 37. Right? Yeah.
And I'm Brynn Burger, and I just turned 39 last Wednesday. Whoop, whoop. I have been a writer and speaker for the last 4 years. I was at a writer's retreat, and one of the women who has 3 kids was saying that her and her husband have sex almost every day. And I looked around and I'm thinking, man, we are blowing it. And so I thought, I'm going to talk to my husband about this. Like, is this even feasible?
She was like, hey, I want to try this challenge to have sex every day for 30 days. It's kind of like neat, like great.
I was nervous. Like, what does this mean for us? Is this going to bring us closer, or is this just going to stress me out more than I already am?
Please welcome Brynn Burger from Bristol, Tennessee. Brynn, this is just great. So tell me how you brought the idea to your husband, Spencer. Like, was it a pitch, or did you just say, here's what we're doing?
Well, we do nothing small in our house. So he was not, this is normal behavior for me to just say something crazy. But I had heard from a friend that, at this writer's retreat, they were having sex all the time and they had more kids than we do. And so wow. I said, I kind of thought about it for a couple weeks before I said anything to him. We have 2 kids and our oldest has extra needs, and that makes it really difficult on a marriage for so many reasons. But I thought, as a woman of size, I've really battled my own self-worth, and that really affects our intimacy as well as parenting. I've been over 350 pounds and I've been 175 pounds and tried to embrace every curve along the way. And I know that's something that's hard for moms. And so I not only wanted to challenge my husband and myself, but also share that with other women so they could feel less alone.
I admire how much you share, because I'll be honest with you, I'm not a big let's talk about sex publicly person, but I will share this for the first time. When I first got married, my husband, we made a pledge about the amount of time that we would try to incorporate intimacy spontaneously, because I'm not a big date night orchestrated person. When we had our son, you know how it goes. These things change and work and life get in the way. But we had this pledge when we started, our journey together as well. So people want to know, and I guess I do too, how did it go?
Well, I will say, and I wrote about this, like, spoiler alert, we failed. We didn't make it the full 30 days. So let me just throw that out there. And I am a diehard perfectionist. So I did have anxiety going into it. I was like, oh gosh, is this just going to stress me out?
Yeah, that would freak me out.
Yeah, but I will say that the first week, it was like we really were intentional about planning, because I'm a planner. My husband says I schedule fun, so whatever, it's fine. And then the second week, it was like, really hard because real life started happening and we weren't as focused. Yeah. And then, our kids, like I said, we have a son with special needs. And so there's all these things that start hitting us. But by the end of the month, it was like, we'd missed a few days. So I'd started to forgive myself for not meeting this like ridiculous expectation. And it started becoming fun because then we were looking forward to it and it was more playful and less stressful.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, when you set out on this challenge or whatever the goal, whether it's 30 days of intimacy in that case, or, breaking a habit of any sort, you don't want to feel the weight of it, even if it's something you want to do, like being intimate with your significant other. Well, when we come back, the man we've been talking about, Brynn's husband, will join us. I cannot wait to hear what he has to say about their 30-day challenge. Sex every day for a month. Interesting. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're talking with people who say their lives changed when they decided to change just one thing, some big, some small. And we've been talking to Brynn Burger, who says she and her husband have 2 kids and their lives are so hectic that they really don't have time for intimacy. So Brynn challenged her husband. Yes, she made the challenge to have sex every day for 30 days. And Brynn's husband, Spence Burger, joins us now. Spence, it's so good to have you join the conversation. Listen, I emphasize that it was Brynn's idea because the stereotype, the trope is always that it's the husband, chasing the wife around and asking for more intimate moments. You both recognize that life had gotten in the way of it. And then Brynn brought this idea to you. Did she make you an offer you couldn't refuse, as The Godfather says in the movie?
I mean, anytime your wife is like, we should have sex every day, I don't think any guy's gonna be like, nah, no, I'm out. Can't do that.
Yeah.
So it was definitely an exciting challenge. Much nicer than I think we should start working out 5 days a week or something.
Did you feel at all? I mean, listen, again, so much about intimacy is supposed to be spontaneity. It's supposed to be the warm-up act, the foreplay, as they call it. You were scheduling it in. Did that change the dynamic of how it's supposed to, I guess, feel? I don't know.
Maybe a little, but as she said, she is super planned with everything ever. So that part wasn't a whole lot different than normal, I guess.
Did you feel like at any point quitting the challenge? Was there that moment where you thought, okay, I love this idea, but even for me, this is way too much?
Probably that second week, like she was saying, like when it's kind of like you go on vacation and then you come back to real life. Like the first week was like the vacation, and so then the second week was kind of like one of us had a super long day, or like the kids were totally nuts,
Right.
and so one of us was just exhausted, or both of us were. So then it's kind of like, oh yeah, we're doing this. We're supposed to be doing this again.
As there was a conversation to start the challenge, was there a conversation to say, okay, you know, we don't have to do it every day, but we can keep some of the things we've learned about what we want our goal here to be?
Yeah, I think there definitely was. I mean, again, I said I was a perfectionist. So for me, when I started to feel overwhelmed by it, and at the time, I was the primary caregiver for both of our kids, and run my own business to, support other extreme parents. And so I think it was really important for me to be able to be open with him and say, this is feeling really overwhelming and I want it to be fun. So that there were definitely days where that conversation happened and it took a lot of pressure off, I think.
Yeah, I think the real success was it made us focus on that without really focusing on it after that.
I like
So
it.
even
Yeah.
if we didn't make exactly 30 days, after 30 days, that happened a little easier and more natural, which obviously changed everything and made lots of things much better.
Yeah.
I love it. I imagine you have a lot of locks on your bedroom doors, or you have a big garage with cars that you can hide, because I don't know how you keep those little ones from searching for you over those days. But congratulations on trying it, and more important, figuring out a way forward and learning from this adjustment in life. I think it's an awesome story, and I'm so pleased that you shared it with other people. Thank you, Brynn. Thank you,
Yeah.
Spence.
Hopefully it will reduce some of the shame that's associated with it because it's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.